We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call, but that's Andrew's.
What happens when Shedeur drops a bomb and the Browns owner acts like it's just pancakes on a Sunday morning? Boom, Coach Prime blows up like a firework at a rodeo revival. In this clip, Deion Sanders clapped back so hard, folks swear Cleveland's Wi-Fi lost signal. Is Shedeur being sabotaged, ignored, or straight up disrespected?
He's unflappable. We have been through so much as a family, as athletes, that he is prepared for everything. The only thing that really hurt me, when they started the line and saying he wasn't prepared or he was this or he came in with headphones on. I know my sheep. I know my son. I know what I raised. I know better than that. Shedeur ain't never did nothing stupid like that. Ain't never been nowhere unprepared, ill-prepared. No.
And what did the Browns boss actually say that pushed Papa Prime into full gladiator rage? This story is messy, petty, and about to get legendary. When the Browns owner opened his mouth, you'd think he was ready to break some miracle news, like Cleveland finally curing decades of quarterback drama. But nah. Instead of lifting the curse, he took a shot that basically downplayed Shedeur Sanders in the most sideways way possible.
The hell
mama
did that
side, they mama side.
That got
they mama side.
Okay.
And I'm not happy about that. It's they mama side. But yeah. But you know what? I don't think Shedeur would be the quarterback he is if he had that.
I hear you.
Because now he has to really use the intellect and the instinct and understanding of the game and understand defenses and all that. So, and the thing about
not worried about running and doing
the thing about this kid, and I'm gonna give you some heat.
Yeah, cool.
How many quarterbacks going in this draft
have
started every game in high school?
Right.
Every game in college but one. Has had several different offensive coordinators.
Right.
And not the best of protection.
The disrespect was so loud, you could practically hear Deion's shades fog up all the way from Colorado. Picture it. Coach Prime, mid-swagger, froze in his tracks, blinked twice, and snapped like, they said, what about my son? That energy had everybody clutching their phones like, did he really just say that? Mama Sanders' side eye could have powered a whole stadium that night, running and grinding. That's what this kid does. But let's be real. The Browns, they ain't exactly famous for picking quarterbacks like geniuses.
I was a millionaire at 21. I was a pro. The difference is I played 3 sports in college. I just wanted you to know where he was. Sometimes you forget. What? You think you just talking to dad.
He was not a millionaire at 20, so I don't know.
I was not a millionaire.
This is the same franchise that treats QBs like holiday decorations, swap them out every season, and hope the new one doesn't go up in flames. They've had more quarterbacks than most folks have had Wi-Fi passwords. And still, when Shedeur steps in dropping rockets, running the huddle, looking like the most NFL-ready star in the building, Cleveland acts like he's just there to mix up the Gatorade. That's beyond disrespectful.
Tonight was one of those nights. And I mean, shoot, that's what we expect. He's so darn good that we don't give him the credit that he deserves for some of the things that he does.
Coach, he started 15-15 school record.
Wow. See, you don't even know that stuff because you're into the game and you're coaching. You don't even think about that kind of stuff. I remember, I think he did that one time in Jackson, that he was phenomenal like that. But wow. And they don't even mention him for the Heisman. He's not even mentioned. Oh, my bad.
Now let's break down what the Browns owner really hinted at. Because this wasn't just a casual snub, oh no. This was a polished, corporate-speak backhand slap dressed up in PR glitter. He found a way to suggest, without saying it out loud, that Shedeur ain't quite ready. Like maybe, just maybe, the other dudes deserve the shine. You know, the same dudes who float wobbly ducks into the dirt and somehow still keep getting those second-team reps. Can you believe that? Apparently, being flat-out great ain't enough anymore. You also gotta fit the NFL's cookie-cutter image of a quarterback. Bland, robotic, and let's be real, preferably already patched up with injuries.
Maybe it's my algorithm, but I see Shiloh and Shedeur more than I've ever seen any undrafted guy or fifth-round guy on social media in the history of Instagram, Threads, Twitter, X, whatever it is. Like, those dudes are everywhere. And they caught some of Deion's strays, right? Deion had a level of greatness that was untouchable, right? Deion could say, yeah, I'm not interviewing with these people because I'm not gonna be there in the draft. Deion could say, hey, I already ran 140. I ain't effing with no more of this testing because y'all already know I'm top 5 and it ain't tripping. Watch the film, know who I am.
What kind of nonsense is that? Meanwhile, Shedeur's out here tossing darts so sharp they ought to come with a surgeon's license. He's slicing defenses like they're pop quizzes he already studied for. Quick release, ice-cold poise, and swagger that makes his O-line dig even deeper just to keep the vibe alive. That's leadership you can feel. But Cleveland, they got him jogging through warm-ups like he's some unpaid intern carrying water bottles. And the wildest part, the fans aren't buying the act for 1 second. Social media went nuclear, dragging the Browns like they accidentally used a first-round pick on a punter. Again.
They don't want to have a quarterback coming in and they got to worry about his dad making noise about what they're doing, how they're doing it, how effective they are or are not.
Right.
All of those things come into play. And then ultimately, you know, you're an executive and you've got chosen a coach, but the audience is clamoring for dad to come coach his son and all of this other stuff. All of those things are things that an executive or an ownership group is going to be worried about because they're about having control.
People are watching Shedeur's reps and asking the only question that matters. Why is the guy who's clearly shining brightest getting treated like the backup to the backup's backup? You got Shedeur launching ropes with NFL timing while another dude's out here tossing ducks like he's feeding a pond, and somehow that guy gets the nod? It's madness. It's like Gordon Ramsay plating filet mignon and being told to take notes from somebody burning cup noodles. And that's when Deion Sanders stormed in. No filter, no hesitation, letting the world know loud and clear that his son isn't just good. He's the real deal, period. Shedeur was built for the spotlight, no question. And if the NFL can't see that yet, maybe it needs a brand new pair of glasses, prescription included.
A couple teams that I won't allow him to play for.
Whoa.
This is my profession. I know what's behind the curtain. We ain't got to get back there for me to understand what's not prominent for my son. I'm not doing it. Ain't
And
no
if he
in the world.
doesn't listen to you?
Who? No, you must mean owners, like not my son.
Have you told him privately who you would like for him to play for?
It's not like who I would like for him to play for.
Deion's clapback wasn't just about defending his son. It was a full-blown cultural smackdown. Because let's be clear, this isn't only about one quarterback being overlooked. This is about the league still fumbling when it comes to quarterbacks who don't fit their cookie-cutter mold. Confident, charismatic, mobile, a quarterback with actual personality? Oh no, that makes execs break into cold sweats.
Jimmy Haslam called out his GM Andrew Berry so hard. Do you remember when the Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders? You remember, right? He fell all the way to the 5th round. It was a big deal. And the owners said at the end of the day, this is his quote, "That's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur." That's so awesome. It's so wrong also. A, it's wrong to throw your GM under the bus. B, it's wrong to throw him under the bus on something that they know, you know, everyone in the organization knows, everyone in the media knows. You are full of it. It's total.
You'd think Shedeur had asked to swap the Browns logo for sequins and rhinestones with the way they reacted. Deion's done with the polite act. He's watched his son grind harder than guys running 2-a-days in freezing January. And this ain't just about raw talent, it's about narrative. The NFL worships a comeback story, but only when it's written for the players they already believe in. Shedeur's story? It's unfolding right now, in real time, whether they like it or not. He's not chasing dreams with his hand out. He's slamming that dream straight onto the table saying, "Here's my resume, highlight reel attached." Yet Cleveland keeps pretending the future isn't staring them dead in the face. They've built a whole culture out of questionable decisions, and this just adds another messy chapter in their DIY handbook on how to waste generational talent. And Deion, he's watching it all like a man who already knows the ending. He's seen the NFL chew up and spit out players who had less skill, less focus, and way less drive than Shedeur. That's why this fight isn't just personal, it's generational.
Cleveland Browns owner Jimmy Haslam has come out and basically said he didn't want Shedeur Sanders. He didn't want them to draft Shedeur Sanders. The GM wanted Shedeur Sanders and drafted Shedeur Sanders. And my thing is, okay, if you feel that way, why come out and say that right now when their young Broyle is fighting for a position and a spot on the team? How do you think that makes him feel when he knows that the boss, the big boss of the Cleveland Browns, the owner of the team, didn't?
Deion Sanders knows exactly what kind of weight comes with greatness in a world that still ain't ready to handle it. He's walked that path before, gold, cleats, and all. Shedeur's college career wasn't built on hype trains or media smoke. It was built on laser precision, steady leadership, and dragging a locker room full of doubters straight into real wins. The man plays with the composure of a 10-year vet and the confidence of somebody who's already peaked at life's playbook. Now here's the kicker. Cleveland's problem ain't that they don't see it. It's that they do, and they're shook because they don't know how to handle it. Their quarterback depth chart looks like a sketchy used car lot, flashy paint jobs, high mileage, and the same busted problems under every hood. Meanwhile, right in front of them sits a brand new Tesla, and they're busy test driving a rusted-out hatchback from 2009. You can't make this up. And here's what makes it legendary. Deion didn't just explode for no reason. He's been patient, watching the politics pile up. But this time, he struck the match, tossed it straight into the league's messy pile of excuses, and strolled off in slow motion. That mold they keep clinging to? Dead. Outdated. Done.
See how he kind of distanced himself from actually drafting Shedeur, even though he said what he originally wanted to say was, that's not going to happen. Now, I don't know if he's saying that's not going to happen as if they didn't want to draft him in the first couple of rounds, or he was saying that he didn't want him on his team. You know what I mean? I can't prove that, but pretty much what he was saying is he wasn't on board with drafting Shedeur. Like I said, I don't know if that was for the round that they was picking in, or if it was just Shedeur, period. You know what I mean?
Shedeur isn't some robotic system player. He's a leader with unshakable swagger. And swagger terrifies the gatekeepers because swagger can't be taught, and it sure as hell can't be controlled. Now, Deion's made it crystal clear. He's watching. And the Browns? They're sitting at a fork in the road. Either keep acting blind while sitting on a gold mine, or finally admit they've been playing checkers while everybody else is out here letting AI write their chess moves. Shedeur doesn't need pity. He needs a real shot. And when that shot comes, he's gonna make every doubter look like they slept right through a revolution. This whole circus is a masterclass in NFL delusion, plain and simple. But for Deion, this ain't just about reps or preseason politics. It's another chapter in his lifelong battle with football's crusty old gatekeepers. And let's be real, the NFL got more gatekeeping than a medieval castle with abandonment issues. Remember when folks laughed at him for taking over Colorado? He's too flashy, too loud, not serious enough.
Everyone's really talking about Jimmy Haslam and Shedeur Sanders, but here's why it really matters. Owners typically never do this, and it's mainly a thing like, we drafted him, we believe in him, but the thing is, he's kind of distancing himself from the pick. And it basically means don't blame me and blame Andrew Berry if this pick goes wrong, and that's brutal. And honestly, this puts Andrew Berry, the GM, all on the hook, and whenever you go out there as a rookie quarterback without any ownership backing you, it can kill your confidence. And this is just Jimmy Haslam sending a negative message to his own team and own quarterback. And it makes me think maybe he's the reason why they haven't had good quarterback play in years. And I think if it's not anything about believing your quarterback or supporting your quarterback, you shouldn't be saying anything.
Yeah, right. Then boom, he turned a program with less juice than a dried-up raisin into a headline machine. Deion doesn't just prove haters wrong. He bulldozes their doubts, throws a dance party on the ruins, and makes sure every camera catches the smoke. And now, it's personal. Because Shedeur isn't just another quarterback prospect. He's a test case. Look around. It's not a coincidence. Dual-threat quarterbacks, especially the ones who speak their mind, always seem to get told, switch positions, or sit behind the veteran, while their bland counterparts get the keys to the franchise like it's a company rental car. Lamar Jackson had to win a whole MVP before folks stopped asking if he should play safety. Cam Newton? They talked more about his post-game drip than his pre-snap reads. And Jalen Hurts? He dragged Philly to the Super Bowl and still had to fight off the not-a-pocket passer nonsense. Meanwhile, some QBs with the personality of a cardboard sandwich get drafted top 5 just because they look like a quarterback. What a joke. Whatever that even means. Now here's Shedeur, stuck with the fewest reps on the Browns' depth chart, sitting behind dudes who've spent more time flipping Gatorade bottles than throwing real passes. And we're supposed to call this a meritocracy? Please. This man was mic'd up, cracking jokes, calling audibles, basically running a masterclass in leadership, while half the roster was still fumbling with their laces.
The Browns owner, Cleveland Browns owner Jimmy Haslett, has came out and said that drafting Shedeur Sanders wasn't his choice. At this particular time, he found it compelling enough to tell the world that drafting Shedeur Sanders wasn't his choice. Now, the feel of that pick to the rest of the world, it felt like it came from the owner of the team. Why would you put it, like, why would do that even matter at this point?
Now compare that with Cleveland's little crush on Dylan Gabriel and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Nice guys, decent upside, sure. But let's not act like they're outshining Shedeur on the field. They're not outplaying him. They're just out-favorited. And in Cleveland, the land where quarterback careers go to get strange, it's looking more and more like Shedeur's talent is getting buried under dusty expectations and political games from the front office. Meanwhile, you got whole squads out there desperate for a quarterback like him. Teams that would roll out the red carpet if he decided Cleveland wasn't worth his time. Atlanta, anyone? If that rumor even whispers its way out, it'll spread faster than a TikTok dance trend in a high school cafeteria. But let's cut deeper. This ain't just football, this is family, this is legacy. Deion's not speaking up just because Shedeur's his son. He's speaking for every quarterback who's ever been told to dim their shine just to make somebody else more comfortable. And that message, it hits way beyond Cleveland. Deion Sanders isn't just defending a last name on a jersey. He's defending the future. He's standing on the belief that pure talent should matter more than old-school optics. That swagger and skill can live side by side without canceling each other out. And maybe, just maybe, it's time for the NFL to quit playing politics and start playing real football. Because if Cleveland doesn't wake up soon, don't be shocked when Shedeur Sanders is torching them from the opposite sideline, while Deion sits back in the luxury box, rocking that "told you so" grin. And when that day comes, somebody in Cleveland's front office will have to explain why a generational quarterback was ever stuck holding a clipboard while mediocrity was busy throwing pick sixes like party favors. That's the comedy and the tragedy all rolled into one. The truth is, Deion didn't even need to scream. His presence alone shook the room. Meanwhile, Shedeur's sharpening every skill, stacking motivation, and turning all that incompetence around him into pure rocket fuel. This ain't a setback, it's a setup. And if you listen close, way out in Boulder, you can almost hear it. Sunglasses sliding off slowly, and a voice cutting through the silence. You messed up, now watch what happens. So, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave your thoughts in the comments, and share this with somebody who needs to hear it. This saga ain't over, and you won't want to miss the next chapter.